Cut that out, for real. Cut this up, put it on repeat. We supposed to be the losers, but we win. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Strong Arm Sports, your favorite sports podcast.
True.
But we don't sugarcoat things. We don't give you any biasness. We just put them in the sights and aim at them. We got another exciting episode for you guys.
That's right.
I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy, Paris57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Y'all already know. Let's get it.
Man, so check this out, folks. With football season being over,
Okay.
if you guys anything like us, that's always a little sad. You know, we still got the NBA, thank God, but when the football season is over, it gets tough.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when the football season ends, that's when you get a lot of crazy news. So today, our crazy news comes out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
First of all, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, whatever you want to call him, checks himself into a rehab facility because he wants to reassess, I'm doing the air quotes, reassess his future.
Okay.
This is not the first time, matter of fact, this is not the first time this past season we've heard Johnny say, oh, I'm for real now.
Yeah.
Like, he'll always kind of come out, he'll do some stupid stuff, and he'll go, all right, I'm for real now. I'm serious. So I'm asking you, bro, what do you think about this? You think this is Johnny saying, I'm serious, let me get serious about my future? Or you think it's like some PR stuff?
Well, hopefully it's him saying he's serious about his future. But Johnny Manziel is the epitome of the my bad. You know, damn, something happened, my bad. You know, he's the epitome of that. Johnny Manziel got to get his mind right. But hopefully this is the start of him getting his career on track. But, you know, the GM of the Browns came out when he first came on and said, I don't think our starting quarterback is on our team. So apparently he don't believe in Johnny Manziel or Hoyer. So this right here is why the Cleveland Browns will always be the Cleveland Browns, because for whatever reason they just can't get right. And I mean, I'm one of those guys. I want to see good football, and you know, Johnny Manziel was known as one of the most exciting players in college football. They even made a joke about him at the NFL honors. They said, I forgot the dude from Saturday Night Live who was the host. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry, but he said even Johnny Manziel got to see the field. He didn't do too well. He was like, we didn't know that Johnny Football wasn't his name. His name should have been Johnny College Football. That's what he said. Because Johnny Manziel was known as one of the most exciting players in college football. And for whatever reason, is it the Browns' fault? I don't know. But for whatever reason, he could not get on track. His pro career could not get on track with the Browns.
I think I'm going to somewhat defend Johnny.
Okay.
Because I think it's something with Cleveland.
Okay.
This organization, man, they got problems. Josh Gordon, you guys might know this. Josh Gordon, that man, he loved to smoke upon the ganja.
Yeah.
He might love to smoke upon the ganja more than he loves football. Which, that I can almost see that. Maybe you like smoking weed more than you like playing football. But here's where it gets a little cloudy to me.
Okay.
How do you like smoking weed more than you like making millions of dollars?
Yeah, man.
Not just making money.
Yeah.
I'm talking making the type of money that most people around here would kill for.
Yeah.
And then there's more.
What?
On
More?
top of that, the Cleveland Browns are now facing sanctions. Get this.
Hold up.
Because they've been sending text messages from like up in the press box to the sideline during games. You can't do that. You can't do that. So the Browns, man, they definitely got some issues over there. So anybody who play for the Browns that can't get right, there you go. You got an alibi. The Browns it's bad juju over there, man.
Yeah,
Tell your agent to get yourself out of Cleveland.
You got to get out of Cleveland, man. Hopefully, the Cavs is the best shot for Cleveland to ever get a championship, because the Browns ain't nowhere near getting nowhere near an NFL championship. Nowhere near it. You ready to move on, bro?
Let's go.
So, if you guys haven't heard, over the past couple of days, Chris Paul has been fined for criticism of a female ref, Lauren Holcat, because she was teeing him up. And Chris Paul came out and said, you know, maybe this isn't for her. If she can't take, you know, players talking to her, maybe this isn't for her. And a lot of media outlets have came out and said, well, Chris Paul was dead wrong. And I think I think the media kind of took it the wrong way. I think Chris Paul would have said that to a man. You know, they were saying, well, you know, Chris Paul can't say that because, you know, she's a woman and women have been fighting to, you know, be officials in the NBA for a long time. And to me, I said, hold up now. Now, the female, you know, this female ref hasn't came out and said, I don't think she came out and said anything. It's the media outlets that said. She did?
I don't know if it was in an interview or via social media, but she actually somewhat defended Chris Paul and said that she felt like his statement was a generalized statement.
Okay.
For refs in general.
Okay, I agree with her 100%. She want to be treated like an equal. That's exactly what she needs to say. Because I think whether it was female or male, Chris Paul would have got in that ref at that period of time. That's what Chris Paul is known for anyway. So what do you think about that situation, Spade?
Well, I will say this. I'm kind of torn. I don't want to think that Chris Paul was taking a shot at her being a female ref.
Okay.
I don't want to think that. For one, Chris Paul is a cry baby.
Okay.
This guy complains about every call.
He do.
If he takes a shot and it goes in, you might not get that much. If he takes a shot and it misses, he was always fouled on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think you and I have spoke about it. You guys don't know it. But I, for one, I kind of feel like Chris Paul is a little dirty. Like, when you watch Chris Paul play, he's a little dirty. He does a lot of pushing off with the non-dribbling arm. All that being said, Chris Paul has disagreed with referees in the past. This ain't the first tech for Chris Paul. His thing was when he went to discuss the call with her, argue the call with her, he wasn't cussing. He said he didn't raise his voice. He didn't feel like he deserved the tech. All that being said, are they really supposed to debate the call? Like, the NBA can't get this under wraps anyway. You're not supposed to debate the call. When the ref says it's a foul, it's a foul. It ain't nothing to talk about. It's not a negotiation. You don't come over and say, you know what, hold up. All right, check this out. Next 2 times down, I ain't even going to put my hands on them. Let's just wipe that off the books, play like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a foul. Whether you agree or you don't agree, get back on the other end and play some defense. So, the one thing about it that sticks out to me, if he had said, it was a dumb call, I shouldn't have been tech, that's a dumb ref, she's stupid, I'd have took all that. But when he said maybe this isn't for her, that did with me. I was kind of like, wow, you know, I've never heard anybody say that about a ref. I've never heard somebody say maybe this isn't for him. I've never heard anybody say that. I've heard people say that's a dumb call, or he's a dumb ref, or he's blind, or whatever. But I've never heard somebody question if it's for that person. So I think because that's so rare to hear that, it made so many people say, wait a minute. Is he saying because she's a girl? You know, so I don't know, man. I just feel like the $25,000 fine was warranted. I don't think he was taking shots at her, but, I mean, it sounded bad. I'll say that. It sounded really bad.
Yeah, I actually think it was taken out of context because I think he said that because she was a newer official. Like, I think this is her first year in the NBA, and I think that's why he said it. I think he would have said the same thing if it was a newer guy official. I don't think Chris Paul is that stupid. I'm gonna say that. I don't think he's that stupid to make that statement and meaning as her being a woman, this might not be for her. Like, she need to go wait tables or something. I don't think he meant it like that. I'm gonna hope he didn't mean it like that. I hope with you. Yeah, I hope. But moving on. A big event happened this week. If you guys was living under a rock, let me explain it to you. It was National Signing Day. They turned National Signing Day into a huge event. Almost as big, well, not almost, as big as the NFL Draft. You got kids on TV, on ESPNU. They picking hats. They having Florida State hats, Miami Hurricane hats, USC hats, all different Alabama hats, all different type of hats saying where they want to go, where they want to play. And I mean, it's a huge event. And before you start, Spade, let me just speak on it a little bit. You know, I don't think the kids should be subjected to this type of nationalism. Is that a word? I'm going to make that a word. If that's not a word, that's a word now. This type of nationalism, because I mean, say they don't pan out at the school or get in trouble at the school, or just say they suck for whatever reason, whether you 4 or 5 3-star recruits. I just think it's too big of a mockery they making out of National Signing Day when these kids could just pick their school, go to their school, and then, you know, try and further on their career in the NFL. What do you think about National Signing Day, Spade?
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I know what you're trying to say. I don't know if I'm going to go at nationalism, but I know exactly what you're saying. They made a big spectacle. They made a big event of it. Yeah. But ultimately, you know what they really did, bro?
What they do?
They made it a money-making event, and that's what bothers me. Everything about college football is designed to put butts in seats, to be entertainment, and it's made to sell.
That's an amazing point,
From tickets to merch to all over TV, all over social media. And the sad thing about it, all these kids that they paraded across our TVs all day, all up and down my timeline when I was trying to, you know, get some good news and stats and sports and whatnot on my Twitter. All the kids that they use for this don't make a dime off of it.
Yeah, man.
And before you come back and tell me they get a free education, as great as that is very great. I've never seen anybody be able to take their free education into a store and buy food, not legally, and buy food for their stomachs or go, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like it because you just really made it. It's really capitalism. That's what it is. You made it really this big money-making event, and everybody benefits but the kids. So that's my issue with it.
That is an amazing point. I didn't even think of it like that, but it is. It's turned into a big money-making event. Everybody was tweeting about it. It was on ESPNU, like a big channel, you know, a subsidiary of ESPN. It was huge. And I mean, like you said, they do get a scholarship. But it's really the coaches was in like their war room, like the NFL draft when the player faxed in their letter of intent. The coaches was in there like, come on. And speaking of coaches,
like merchandise.
Speaking of coaches,
it's like Black Friday, man. It's like somebody opened the doors at Black Friday and all these coaches come in and like, oh, give me this. Give me 2 of these. Give me 1 of these. You know, it's a big event, and it's just a shame to me that these kids get they don't make a dime off of it. I'm not saying make them rich, but it's all the money that was generated on that day. You could have put $50 in these kids' pockets, and you wouldn't even miss it. But I will say this one thing to put it back on what the day is about, National Signing Day. J.J. Watt put out a tweet that day that I felt like was very powerful. You know, National Signing Day is all about who got who, how many stars, how many top 300s or top 200s. And J.J. Watt, who was a former two-star athlete coming out of high school, tweeted to all of the kids coming out of high school, going to college on this day, want to let you guys know, well, you know, signing a letter of intent on this day, want to let you guys know it's not about how many stars is by your name today. It's about what you do with your name after today, moving forward. Right. And that was just crazy to me. J.J. Watt is easily one of the most, if not the most, dominant defensive player in the league. And that guy was a former two-star. So maybe these guys to sit around and decide who gets the stars and all that, maybe these guys really don't know as much as they think they know.
And that's why I like J.J. Watt. For comments like that, that's why I like J.J. Watt. But speaking of coaches, let me talk about Bobby Petrino, lying, deceitful player. I cannot stand Bobby Petrino. And let me tell you why. Before y'all be like, hold up, Bobby Petrino's a good coach. Let me tell you about Bobby Petrino. Now, if you guys don't know, Bobby Petrino was the head coach of Louisville before he was the head coach of Louisville this time. He jumped ship on them at Louisville to go coach the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Vick got into all that trouble with the dog fighting. Bobby Petrino jumped ship on Atlanta Falcons. I want to say via text. Was it via text? It might have been via text.
I don't even think if I remember correctly, I don't even think he gave Atlanta an entire season.
He didn't. He gave him like, 2 or 3 games, and then he was
I want to say like 4 games. Then
I think from there, Bobby Petrino went to Arkansas. Bobby Petrino got caught up in some crap, had a car accident, found out he was on a motorcycle with a chick that wasn't qualified enough to be in the position she was in. That wasn't his wife and wasn't qualified to be in the position she was in, but Bobby Petrino was messing with her and she got the job. So Bobby Petrino, he was out at Arkansas. Then he went to a smaller school. I can't remember the smaller school. Don't even matter. Then from there, he went back to Louisville. So let me tell you what Bobby Petrino did. Bobby Petrino.
He's done more?
He didn't.
That wasn't enough?
That wasn't enough. He did more. There go more Bobby Petrino, y'all. So Bobby Petrino pulled the 3-star athlete Matt Coburn's scholarship away 48 hours before signing day. So you guys might be like, oh, that's not a big deal. Let me tell you why. First of all, that never happens 48 hours before signing day, where the kid, the 3-star athlete, was going to head to Louisville. But let me tell you why he pulled the scholarship. He pulled the scholarship because Bobby Petrino, the team that he currently coached, Louisville, they had a pretty good season. And some of his DBs, entered the NFL draft. They are hopefuls to be drafted in the NFL this upcoming draft, excuse me. And he said, we have to take this kid's scholarship back because we need to sign some more DBs. Come on, Bobby Petrino. 48 hours before signing day. This is how you treat this kid. Bobby Petrino has been for whatever reason, they love this guy. And Bobby Petrino will probably always get a coaching job. He probably will always be a head coach in college. But the way Bobby Petrino go about things, it just does not, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It doesn't sit right with me. And if I had a son, I would not want my kid to play for Bobby Petrino, man. I would not. Spade, how do you feel about Bobby Petrino?
I'm not a fan. Let's go back to the motorcycle incident. My whole point of bringing this back up, I want you guys to understand the nuts on this guy. This guy got big nuts. We can say nuts on this show, bro?
Yeah, we can say nuts. We can say nuts.
All right. Imagine this. Because, see, some of these guys listening to this podcast or watching this webcast, you guys got girlfriends or wives, significant others, whatever. Check this out. Imagine you cheating on your lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you taking her out. You're going to probably get in a car, tint the windows dark as can be.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby riding around with a broad that ain't his lady on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He ain't even he ain't trying to hide. You the coach of the Razorbacks. Everybody know you.
Mm-hmm.
He riding through Arkansas on a bike with somebody else chick on the back of his bike. So that gives you the idea of who we dealing with here. Now, the whole thing about him pulling the scholarship, unfortunately, scholarships get pulled. That happens. Mm-hmm. What makes this one so bad is the time. It was 48 hours to signing day. And it's a situation where a 3-star athlete, he don't have a ton of choices. He ain't sitting over here with a shoebox full of invites. Mm-hmm. Visits are over at this point. It ain't like you can go visit with a school. Yeah. And it really is a situation where this kid is probably going to have to try to walk on somewhere, which means that he's got to pay for that tuition, which he may or may not even have. Mm-hmm. So you just completely ruin this kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe the kid, I wish I knew the kid's name because I would look it up, but I'm going to follow the guy. Maybe he'll walk on another team, and maybe he'll end up being a 3-star guy that makes it to the league, and he could be the next J.J. Watt. Who knows?
Yeah, his name
Matt Coburn
is his name. Matt Coburn.
Yeah, I'm going to follow this guy. I'm going to see where he lands, and I'm going to try to follow the guy. But that's pretty terrible, man. Bobby Petrino, what bothers me, and I try to keep this show political, but I don't have to do that because it's not what this show is about, man. We strong on stuff. So
that's right.
What I hate about Bobby Petrino is he flaunts his ability to just get passes in front of the faces of guys who can't get jobs. Yeah. There's not one black coach in all of pro or collegiate sports that could get away with the shit that Bobby Petrino has gotten away with.
100%
and if you know one and I don't know, name him to me. Tell me in the comment section, tweet me, whatever. Give me a black quarterback that can do all this shit. I mean, a black coach that can do all this and still have a job. That's what I want to know.
Man.
Speaking of coaching, man, let's move forward.
Let's
you
go.
Good on Bobby?
Yeah, let's go, man. I'm done with Bobby.
All right, so
I don't want to say his name no more.
We done with Bobby. Speaking of coaching, man, let's go to some NBA news. The Orlando Magic relieved Jacques Vaughn of his coaching duties. Mm-hmm. And, kind of went on this search. They're searching for their next coach. And it was crazy to me because Patrick Ewing ex-NBA great, Hall of Famer, one of the NBA's top 50 players when they made that list. This guy has been paying his dues. He's been assistant coaching in the league since 02, 03, something like that. And he even spent maybe between 4 and 6 years on the Orlando Magic coaching staff. And they still don't, they didn't even think about him. They was like, we're looking for a coach. They didn't think about Pat Ewing. That's crazy though. You got players like Jason Kidd. Before Jason Kidd could throw his shoes up on the power line, he had a coaching job thrown in his lap. And then he strong-armed another coaching position out of it for even more money. Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson, all these guys. I'm not saying these guys are bad coaches at all. I'm just saying Patrick Ewing deserves the opportunity to fail at least. Give him a job, give him a shot, and if he fails, so be it. You did your due diligence. News came out a couple days ago that George Karl is hinting around being interested in taking this coaching job. George Karl is a really good coach. I won't be mad if Orlando hire George Karl, but somebody, please give Patrick Ewing a shot, man. Give this man a shot. What he got to do? I take it, whatever that system is the NFL got, where you got to interview so many African-American candidates. It's
called the Rooney Rule.
They don't have that in the NBA?
Rule. No.
Obvious. But yeah, man, how you feel about this whole thing?
But let me tell you, Jacques Vaughn, to me, I didn't think Jacques Vaughn did a bad job. My problem a lot with these owners is they get spoiled and they think they're supposed to be better than what they are. I mean, it's one thing, I kind of talk, Spade, you said it yesterday and you didn't even know I was going to use it for this show right here. But you said yesterday when we playing 2K and we on the park or we at the rec or something, for those that don't know, it's called the rec center. You get 5 players together going against another 5. But you said yesterday, you good with a loss. You said you want to just make sure everybody is playing hard. And Jacques Vaughn had Orlando playing hard. I mean, every night, whether they win or lose, they out there playing the best and they out there competing. How can you be mad at that? Orlando do not have enough talent to compete with the other teams in the East. I mean, same thing with Philly. Philly can lose every game for the rest of the season, but Philly plays hard every night. They just don't have the talent. And that's another thing. I'm doing the quote fingers here. Why do the African American coaches always got to take the shit jobs? Like, we get offered the crap jobs. Like Orlando, for the owner of Orlando to fire or get rid of Jacques Vaughn, I don't know if he fired him, but
he fired
him.
They fired him.
Yeah, man. For them to get rid of Jacques Vaughn, what did he think they were supposed to do? I mean, they have Oladipo, who's been on and off the court. He was dealing with some injuries. Vucevic been on and off the court dealing with injuries. I mean, what did you really expect from Orlando? And like you said, give my man Pat Ewing a shot. It's a lot of coaches right now. It's a lot of coaches right now. You'd be like, damn, why is he a coach? He sucked.
Real.
And Pat Ewing is a former, not just an NBA player, not a journeyman, an elite Hall of Fame caliber player. Why wouldn't he get a shot? Why wouldn't he? He forgot more basketball than some of the basketball these other coaches know. Come on, man. Gotta give Pat Ewing a shot, man. Got to.
I agree. Now, let me throw this one thing in before we move forward, though. And this is just a question that just came to me while you was talking. Do you think the Atlanta Hawks could have hurt Jacques Vaughn? And by that, I mean, before the season, did anybody see Atlanta being this good? So you think maybe the owners, GM over at Orlando's looking at Atlanta like, damn, but he came in here and got these guys right. Maybe.
But I mean, go ahead.
I mean, Tobias Harris, they got high expectations for him. Vucevic has came in and really made himself, a guy that you expect him to do pretty good. Oladipo, at one point, people was talking about Oladipo like he was that guy. So, I mean, maybe, is it possible that Atlanta's success hurt Jacques Vaughn? And it may not be.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think so. Before that guy got there, Atlanta was in the playoffs. They just wasn't winning in the playoffs.
That's true. Very true.
Every year they was in the playoffs. And speaking of Tobias Harris and all those guys, all those guys we mentioned for Orlando has been injured.
That's true.
On and off the court.
Absolutely right, bro.
Which doesn't, you can't get any chemistry like that. You playing with like 12 players, no chemistry.
You're right.
I don't think Jacques Vaughn did a bad job. I'm not saying he don't deserve to be fired, but I think the problem with these teams is they don't give a coach a chance. I mean, I don't know, but Jacques Vaughn been there, I think, at least 2 or 3 years. But that's not long enough. Take the Pittsburgh Steelers, for example. They only had 3-4 coaches they whole existence. And they have Super Bowls,
to show for it.
For that reason. Yeah, to show for it, for that reason. So I just think they could have stuck with Jacques Vaughn a little bit longer. At least gave him the rest of this season to see how Orlando respond the second half of the season. Man, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Great.
Moving forward, let's go to our strong arm performers of the week. Spade, I'm gonna start with you. Who do you have for your strong arm performer for this past week?
You gonna put me on? See, I was still trying to. I was thinking about mine.
Yeah.
I got 2 guys down here, and oddly enough,
two. Whoa.
I know, but hold on, I'm gonna make a decision. Oddly enough, these 2 guys just played against each other. My 2 guys in question is Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. Now, I know Steph Curry just had a big game, but hang in there with me. Anthony Davis just had a big game. 41 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, couple blocks, and a game-winning 3-point shot that was his first 3-pointer of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a big deal. On the other end, in that exact same game, Russell Westbrook had 48 points, 9 rebounds, 11 dimes, and 4 steals. And to edge it out, man, I'm going to give my strong arm performer of the week to Russell Westbrook because earlier in this same week, he messed around and got a triple-double on the Orlando Magic. So if it's performer of the week, I got to give it to Russell, man. Russell went will. So for that, Russell, you are my strong arm performer of the week.
Oh, maybe I need to take more time out and think of my strong arm performer, but I took the easy route. My strong arm performer of the week is Tom Brady, who finished the Super Bowl game with 37 of 50, threw the ball 50 times, connected on 37 of the passes. He had 328 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He had 2 picks, but he capped all that off with winning the Super Bowl MVP. So for that, Tom Brady, you are my strong arm performer of the week.
Deservingly.
And that's the show, man. Spade has been an amazing show. A lot of great topics. Can't wait to get you guys' thoughts down there in this comment section. If you're new to the show, definitely bang that button up there. That's the subscribe button. Also, bang the subscribe button over there on SAS YouTube channel. We're trying to get it to 500 so we can archive our videos so you guys can go over there and watch them whenever you want to. Also, if you've been here for a while, definitely go down there and bang that like button. It helps the show out. We appreciate everybody that comes through every week and watch the show. Also, Spade, they may not know. We released a special earlier in the week that we probably gonna leave somewhere down there in the comments. In the description. Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
Definitely check that show out. You know what I mean? Some of you guys may have missed it. It was during the week. You guys wasn't expecting us to do that. We will be doing things like that periodically, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Anything you like to add, Spade?
That's it, man.
That's it. It's been an amazing show. We'll see you guys next episode. Peace.
Money team.